and welcome to my channel. Today's video is actually going to be the first in a series which I am calling my monthly lineups, where essentially at the start of every month I speak about all the things that I want to do in that month, from reading to self-studying, to events that I want to go to maybe new hobbies I want to try, anything of the sort that will just make me feel fulfilled, that will make me feel like I've made the most out of the month, especially as we're entering spring and summer. These are the months where I thrive and I want to make the most out of it. I also recently went on a trip to India, and it made me realize that I really can just get up and go, get up and explore, get up and try new things, go to new places, and I need to stop using my routine as like a crutch. Using my routine as an excuse to not try new things, to not make the most out of my week, out of my month, because that is something that I have been doing, which definitely has to do with the winter season itself. But as we're moving out of that, I want to make sure that I make the most out of these upcoming months. So this is going to be my first ever monthly lineup, starting off with April. Like I said, there are going to be a few different categories. To start off with, let's talk about books. Some of the books that I want to read during this month. First of all, I want to complete the Iron and Embers series. If you don't know what this is actually a spin-off of the Legends of Thesmar series. So in the Legends of Thesmar series, we have 4 main books. At the start of this book, we are introduced to a prophecy which essentially highlights that if a woman or a girl wields a weapon, it is going to bring the end to the society that they live in. So following this prophecy, women are no longer allowed to be warriors, and the most elite versions of warriors in this world are called war swords. Of course, our main character absolutely wants to be a war sword, and we get to go through her journey as she does this, and she meets a grumpy war sword who obviously we get a little bit of a romantic connection with. We have so many fun characters in this. My favorite part about this series is the friendships, the side characters. I absolutely love them. There were some drawbacks to the book. Second one had very little plot but a lot of spice, and I did not enjoy it. The third one was okay. The fourth one definitely brought it back up, but my favorite out of this series was actually the first one. There is also a spin-off book called Slaying the Shadow Prince, which was fun. We get to see the romantic journey between 2 characters that are mentioned in the main series as well. I don't think there are any other spin-offs, but that's the only one that I've read. And then we have this spin-off series called Iron and Embers. Well, the first book is called Iron and Embers, and then we have 2 books following that. So I have downloaded the audiobooks for both of these. This is a very easy to read series. It's a fantasy, but it's not overly complicated, so it's a pretty good one to pick up when you just want to have an easy read. They are definitely a little bit tropey, but if you're in the mood for that, it's all good. If you're not in the mood for that, then this isn't going to be the series or the world for you. But I do have a lot of fun with reading these. I think they're a great way to take a break from higher fantasy. So I do want to read the second and third book in this series. That is going to be a priority. Like I said, I've already got them downloaded as audiobooks, so I will be able to listen to them as I move through the month. That is going to be the first goal in the books. Second is actually going to be reading Legendborn. I am about 40% of the way through this, and I'm really enjoying it. It is the first book in this series. We have our main character, Bree, who unfortunately her mother passed away, and she ends up going to this university with her best friend. And this is an urban fantasy, so we have our world as we know it, and another layer which has demons and other creatures like that. As she goes to this university, she gets entangled with a secret society that deals with these demons and so forth. And like I said, I'm 40% of the way through. This is the first book. There are 3 books out, and I think a 4th book will be coming out soon, or there is talk about a 4th book happening. But I definitely want to prioritize completing this book because I am having a really fun time reading it. Then the next thing I want to do is actually catch up with the Book of Azrael series. I have already read the first book, and then we have 4 books out in the series in total. So I want to read books 2 to 4, and I don't think I'll be able to read all of them in April, but I definitely want to make a start, and then that will probably move into my June lineup as well. But I definitely want to make a start in continuing with that series. Those are my recreational reads. Those are my goals in that category for this month. Next, we have shows and movies. Now, this category is There are two aspects to it. Firstly, I want to make sure that I have something that I can watch, something that I'm looking forward to, because it ensures that I actually take a break. That being said, I am definitely on a journey of reducing how much TV I watch, and I have reduced it substantially in the past couple of months. Therefore, the only item in this category that I'm going to be prioritizing is Smallville. This is a show that was all over my TikTok for months, and I finally gave in and started watching it on Netflix. I'm on season 3 now. We have our main character. This is a reimagination of Superman. So we do have Clark Kent, and he is essentially adopted by these two parents, human beings, in this little town called Smallville. Then we have Lex Luthor, we have Chloe, we have Lana, we have a few other characters in this story, and it's just a really fun thing to watch, pretty easy to watch as well, and for me to watch whilst I'm eating when I need a little bit of a break. Actually, my favourite character in this show is Lex. I don't know why, but he's my favourite character, and so I definitely want to make sure I make some time to watch this. I don't really have a goal in terms of completing any particular amount of series. I just want to make sure I have a little bit of time for me to watch a show that I enjoy. Next, self-studying. Now, this is a journey that I started, I think, at the start of this year. It could be the end of last year, but I think it was the start of 2026, where I decided to just give myself a schedule of things that I want to study, because I am someone that enjoys learning, and I haven't really given myself the time to learn subjects that I enjoy just because I enjoy them. So when I set out to do my self-studying kind of timetable, I had a few things in here. First, English literature. Second, art history. Third, history. And then fourth, art. But art I'm actually including as a separate thing, which I'll talk about in a minute. So that means my main self-study aspects are English literature, history, and art history. For a while, I tried to do all three of these things every week, as well as my other hobbies and just general life stuff, and it was getting too much. So now I think I'm going to have one focus each month. Whether that goes on for a couple of months and I have the same focus, or I alternate, I'll see how that goes. But that means that this month I want to focus on English literature, which I am actually reading Pride and Prejudice. It was one of my goals to finish reading the introduction before I went on my trip to India, which I did do. Now I can read the main book. I initially set out to read the book, study it, maybe do some essay questions on it, but I don't know if that's just going to take the fun away from it. So I'm definitely going to try and read it this month, and then once that's done, I will see how I move forward. I definitely want to do a little bit more of a study on it. I don't know if I'll do any type of essay stuff on it, because I think that's just going to stress me out, but I definitely want to read that this month. So that is my goal, to read Pride and Prejudice, and that is under my self-study category. Now, because I do read a lot recreationally, I tend to pick up those books, so I will need to make some time to make sure I pick up Pride and Prejudice as well, because I actually have started the actual book and I'm enjoying it, I'm liking it. I just tend to pick up my fantasy books more often than not. Now, the next category I have is my projects, and within this I only have an art project, which is going to be focused on my trip to India. I want to draw as much of the pictures that I've taken, maybe from my imagination, just practice and have fun, because before my trip I was struggling with what to draw. So I did a few classes and I really enjoyed them, but when I got out of the classes I didn't know what to practice on, because I was getting bored of what I was practicing drawing. And so I think going on this trip is really going to help me draw so many different things. Now, before my trip, I actually did buy this little tiny sketchbook. I think it's A6 size, and I didn't draw a single thing. Okay, I really didn't. So I do want to use this. I also have my A5 sketchbook. I have an A4 sketchbook as well, and then I have my big A3 sketchbook too. So I'm hoping to take a fair few spreads in here for my drawings of India, and that is going to be my main project. Saying all of these things out loud makes me think that I've actually put a lot on for 1 month, but I don't need to complete all of these. Okay, these are just the options that I have, and I will move through them as I can, and they can always be spread out into months moving forward. But that is my main project kind of goal. Now then I have events. Now this essentially involves arts and crafts events, galleries, museums, that kind of category, meeting new people. So I have one which I have already booked, which is at the start of April, and that is going to, I think, Kensington Gardens, and it's a cute little creative girly day with people I've never met. So that is already booked. Then I have a crocheting day booked with some friends. I've never done crocheting, but a couple of my friends crochet, so we decided to do a little girly day for that. So we do have a date booked in, so hopefully that actually happens. And then I want to go to either an art cafe or a book bar in London. I will go to both of these at some point in the next few months, but I'm hoping to go to one of them in April. I might end up moving that to May, but that is an option. And yeah, that is my entire lineup for April. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned to see how I go with this, how far I get, what ones I do, what ones I don't. At the end of the month, I will also do like a monthly wrap up of what I did, what I didn't do, why, things that I enjoyed, things that I didn't. And yeah, I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to see how it goes for the next few months and how this works for me. I'm hoping it will give me kind of a structure of what I can enjoy over the course of the month. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!